Day two is coming to a close, but for our traders, it is time to celebrate as they have navigated through their first round table. How are they feeling? And who is next on their chopping block? They are joining me at my turret. Let's find out.
What's up?
Oh, how are you guys?
Doing good, doing good.
I hope Melissa's wearing green as well.
Are you wearing green too?
Yeah, it's like darker green, but yes.
Oh shit, look at that. That'd be crazy if she was.
Wait, okay, kind of a little bit on my sleeve.
I, s- I see
That,
it. It's
that
good.
counts. That counts.
Perfect.
Yeah. Just gonna make some dinner.
Nice.
How was work for you guys?
Ugh, long. It was
Today,
a long day.
today I didn't work.
Oh, that's
You
good.
didn't hurt?
No, I don't work again until Friday.
Yeah, what do you do?
I work at a rental car place, like it's by the airport.
Oh, okay,
Okay,
good.
But
cool.
I was offered that new position. Basically, it's like customer service. So now I'm gonna be working like more internally than
Yeah.
out in the
Nice.
yard. So
Congrats. That's
higher
awesome.
pay. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, good for you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice different change, something different.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just started there actually. I've been there for a month. So it's surprising that I'm getting moved up
Jeez.
already. Yeah.
You must be
Cool.
really good.
My son works in a dealership too. He works in the shop.
Okay.
Working
Working on
like
the cars.
maintenance, detailing, that kind of stuff.
Nice. That's hard work.
Cool.
Um, yeah, but he can do it. He's fine.
She's like, he got it.
He's
Melissa, what do
fine.
you do again?
Yeah,
What do you do again?
I'm a nurse.
Oh, right. And were you in
Yeah.
stick?
So I work as a system navigator
Wow.
for the doctor's office.
Mm.
So basically, I just help patients find resources in the healthcare, that they wouldn't know how to get on their own or anything like that. So
Mhm.
that's what I do.
I
Nice.
love that.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's a good job. It's just a
Mhm.
long day because the person I share my office with thinks I smell like laundry.
Like
Yeah.
some downy. You smell like some downy. Like
Yeah. Some laundry sheets, like linen. And I'm like,
that's weird.
okay. But apparently she, is dying from the scent and
Yeah.
acting like a retard. So she's going to get moved out of my office.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
wow.
yeah, that's terrible.
Well, can't you use unscented? I'm like, I already use like
What I
very
want.
low scent things because my mom has sensitivities to smells, right? So I'm I don't wear perfume because it's a perfume free environment and all that shit. I'm like, I already am doing everything I possibly can. I am sorry that I smell clean. I don't know what
Yeah,
you
that's
smell
Mhm.
like.
crazy.
Yeah.
So
Well, hello everybody.
Hello.
Good evening, traders. I guess I should start with a big congratulations. You survived the first round table
Woo.
and you remain fairly undetected. Well done. Tonight, you will pick another player to murder, but before we go into that, I do have some questions. How are you feeling Chell's murder played out for you?
I think it went well. I kind of think it was almost expected. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I think it went well. What
I
do you
I
guys
per
think?
I personally think it worked well for us as well. Again, Chell himself even expected it. So obviously there's something going on amongst this cast already
Yeah.
where people already have sus. I believe it was Jonathan that had said something in regards to Chell leaving and him believing that was somebody who knew Chell. So that's perfect because I'm guessing all three of us, right? You two, Melissa, we we,
Yeah.
we didn't know much. We didn't know anything about Chell. So that
I
kind
just
of
haven't even said
cleared,
hi to them.
yeah.
And I'm very happy that I didn't tell Jonathan, who was in my small group, because he asked me, and I said, "Oh, I don't want to tell you that right now, to be honest." And it was literally me, Matt, and Chell. So I was like, "Thank God I I didn't say
Because
anything."
Jonathan will remember and he'll bring
Yeah,
that up.
yeah. I'm just really glad that that murder didn't put any stress on us, and we're like moving forward. And I feel really good about you two, genuinely. And yeah, I think I not don't want to jinx ourselves, but I think when Thursday's gonna go pretty well. Or Wednesday, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
how do you feel the round table went?
Well, I'll answer first. Obviously, it could have went better for me. I would have preferred to walk out of there without a vote, but also I guess it kind of helped me in a way getting a vote because I had a lot of people reassuring me afterwards, like, "Hey, like I totally get why you voted the way you did," and kind of agreeing with the points that I made. So I feel like I put myself a little on the radar, just enough where I'm not like the ultimate traitor. Like, there's other people that have more sus on
Yeah.
them than I do.
Oh,
I,
way more, for
I
sure.
I do want to add to that too, about you, Matt. I talked to Jonathan a lot yesterday after, and he was really honing on like, oh, I really think it's going to be somebody who voted for Caleb because there's no reason that that many people switched their votes from Brad to Caleb. And the people who voted Caleb were me, Matt, Brad himself, and Adam. And then it didn't help that I told him beforehand that I feel good about Adam. So I'm a little scared there, but I don't think it's. I think we'll be okay for now.
All right.
My son is kicking me out of the living room.
How are you all feeling about Caleb being banished?
Um, I'm okay with it. It's not
Yeah,
me. Well,
if I'm being honest, Caleb at the time just seemed like the right person to throw out. I was gonna go with the whole Brad thing, but then there was an opportunity with Brad that I really couldn't let go. And it truly changed the way he like felt about me because we weren't talking at all
yeah.
before last night. So now he's like, "Yo, you saved my ass. Like I trust you all the way." So now we essentially got him, and he's one of the people that has like bigger sus. So I
Mhm.
think
Huge.
Caleb going out was the perfect person to go out
Mhm.
when he did.
And not only Brad, but Tina now too, since he's still in it.
Yes,
And when one of them goes, everyone's gonna be like, okay, maybe it's the other one, and it'll stay between them two, hopefully.
They're
absolutely.
definitely people that we want to kind of keep on for now to keep the suspicion off of us.
Mhm.
Because the more and more they deny it that they're traitors, the more and more they just look like they're traitors.
Mhm.
Do you feel you are yourselves or your fellow traders are all in good positions right now?
I say 100% for me and Daniel, but as Matt said, he got a little bit of suspicion on him, but I totally think it's easily controlled and not really that big of a deal.
I do think if I take more of a like backseat approach next round table and kind of let other people chime in, I think I'll be just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not even not don't sit too much back. I would still play normal, Matt.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Um,
play normal. Yeah,
yeah, because if you get too quiet, I think that would increase the suspicion. True, right?
yeah.
It's so funny because like I feel like it's like one of those situations where like there's two routes and whatever happens, we're gonna be like, oh, it's because this. But like then if the other thing happened, because like if you're too quiet, it's gonna be sus because you got quieter. But then but if you continue, it's like, oh, maybe he's just trying to act the same, So
Yeah.
I feel like it's so hard to,
It's just a mind
yeah,
boggle.
yeah.
So you will murder another player tonight. I should let you know you will not be able to recruit until a traitor is eliminated. So knowing this, who of the faithful do you currently see as leaders in the game?
I mean, Jonathan,
Patrice,
100%.
Mhm.
Jonathan, I think Patrice can
Patrice.
be.
Mhm. I feel like everyone says good things about Anthony as well. I haven't
Yeah.
heard anything about him, even though he's one of the returnees. I feel like everyone's been like, "Oh, Anthony's cool," this and that, and
Yeah, I feel like most of the returnees, if not all, because they definitely like, if anything, they eased us into the round table last night. It was very apparent like they're conditioned, they're ready for this. So they may
Yeah.
be the ones that are like going to be guiding the conversations moving forward.
But in Tina's case, as an example, depending on how they guide and show us what kind of the ropes or whatever, she's already casted so much suspicion on the way she flipped on Brad, right?
Yeah.
As a traitor. So we'll see. We'll see.
I just hope that if it is, and let's say Brad ends up being the person who gets banished next, and I feel like the narrative, like, oh, maybe it was Tina, and that would make sense because she's one of the returners. I'm hoping that it goes that way.
Me too. Me too. And I feel like we can get it to go that way. We just got to be smart about it.
All right, well, before you reveal who you're choosing, I'd like you guys to have a little bit of discussion time between you. During that time, I would like you to name at least three people that you are considering to have murdered tonight and why you might murder them. You
Okay.
remember, do not go, this is the person we're murdering. I just want you guys just right now just to talk about it. I'll let you guys talk.
Okay.
Well, I feel like we're all in agreement that they're returning players, but we got to leave them in.
Yes.
At least for now.
Yeah, for sure. Plus Jonathan, probably. Like, I don't.
The longer them three stay in here, right? Even if Tina does go in the round table, the longer
Yeah.
all three stay in, the more sus they're gonna grow. So
100%.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think we can't touch them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that. So then that brings us down to
So I think the way it can kind of help us really sort the people out. We think about who for sure we can get out at a banishment, and who for sure we feel like will need to go on a murder, right? So
yeah. Like I feel like we need to murder a strong player
and I'm
that definitely has no sus.
and I'm glad you mentioned that because two people come to mind right away. My first name is going to be Adam. Adam
Yeah,
is 100% faithful. Everybody loves him.
absolutely.
He's gonna get goaded to the end. Let's be
Hmm.
real. And
Hmm.
it would shake people up seeing Adam go.
Yeah,
People will be like, well, obviously he was a faithful, but what does this mean, right?
yeah,
And then the second name for me would have to be Patrice. The only reason why is because obviously I'm in that chat with Patrice and Anthony, and I know Patrice's like gears are turning,
yeah.
and
Oh, absolutely.
he's starting to ask more. How do I say this? He's asking more leading questions in the chat.
Yeah,
Anthony hasn't really been answering much. It's really just been me and Patrice. So it makes me feel like that Patrice is onto something.
yeah,
Um, we started to get in the conversation of how we feel about certain people. He had basically wrote off Victoria, wrote off Adam. He's like, they're for sure faithful, and Brad as well. Actually, he was like, I don't believe Brad is a traitor. So those
yeah,
three are off the table for him.
yeah,
He did mention he asked me about you specifically, Daniel, and that's what was so funny. He asked me about you. He said that he feels you're the person he talks to the least. Um, and I didn't add any sauce on you or anything. I was like, me and him don't really talk much either. I don't know him from any previous games, so I don't really know him. So
I
he
will
is,
have to I will have to say I tried messaging him, but he didn't
yeah,
respond to me. So him
yeah.
saying that is
So
frustrating to be honest, but
usually in games, if you reach out to somebody and they're not answering, it's more likely because they don't feel like they need to work with you. You know,
yeah,
that's just a game thing.
yeah.
So, and Patrice is already like, he already had told me that my I'm a faithful is not convincing.
Yes.
So,
but
it,
yours?
yeah, straight
Yeah,
up. He was like trying to give me advice.
yeah,
So I already know
Do you
he's go ahead.
it, not again, I want to preface this by saying whatever moves us forward. Like I'm in on all three of us. Do you think if Patrice ends up being the person we go with, Anthony's gonna think about you at all? Like, do you
I
think he's
don't.
gonna start putting your name on? No?
I don't. I
no,
don't.
I do feel like if we go for Patrice, that the heat off that would come off.
Okay.
I think Anthony, if anything, would lock in harder with me because him and Patrice are
They're
homies. I need
good.
you guys to understand they're
You think
friends.
so?
No, I know so.
Like they're friends,
They,
friends?
they've been having a bromance in our chat. Like they're familiar with each
Got
other.
it. Okay.
So if we cut Patrice, Anthony comes to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Daniel can keep working on what we said, stick.
So I yesterday, I think Melissa, I'm pretty sure you were there too when Jonathan started talking about how, oh, don't you guys think, and he said this in front of Brad, he said, don't you think it was very suspicious that the traders met last night, right? And we're like,
Yeah.
I'm assuming so. And he was like, oh, isn't it funny how after they meet, Tina's all of a sudden okay with Brad? Isn't it suspicious? I'm not saying both of them are, but somebody has to be a traitor there because either one, they are both traitors and they're trying to be okay with each other, or two,
Yeah.
the other is not in the trader's narrative right now, and they're just going to keep the other person in as to sus. I
Yeah.
got moved to a different breakout room with Stick and Victoria, and they were like, "Oh, what were you guys talking about?" I'm like, "Oh, well, Jonathan, blah blah blah," and they both got very excited. They were like, and I'm like, "What?" And they were like, "We were just talking about the same thing."
20
Um,
minutes.
and so that was really exciting. And so me, Victoria, and Stick kind of bonded over that, and we talked a lot. I shared a group with them last night. We were chit-chatting, and we and then Victoria actually messaged me separately, like, "Oh, we were talking about Stick," and we're like, "Okay." If from between us three, Victoria trusts me more than she trusts Stick, and so I think I'm okay with them two over there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
then
gotta start. Sorry, go
go ahead.
ahead.
No, what? You're fine.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I've had a chance to talk a little bit today with like Adam. Victoria's reached out to me. I haven't had a chance to message her back yet, so I plan on talking to her tonight and just kind of see what she says. I might talk to Stick too. Um, I have been off and on talking with Patrice, but he hasn't asked me a lot of questions, but we have talked. Um, Adam and I have talked. I don't know.
And I do want to mention for Adam, we're really good together. I actually almost messed up yesterday, not with our chat, but
Yeah,
when I was messaging Stick and Victoria, Adam messaged me saying, "Hey, so what do you think?" I thought that was a chat with just me and Adam, but it was with me,
yeah,
Adam, and Brad. And so I said about the whole Stick Victoria thing, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I think
yeah,
it makes sense what Jonathan said, blah 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 blah." And then he messages me separately, "Hey, I think you were just talking about blah blah blah, but you did it in front of Brad in our group chat." And I looked back and I was like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "I'm so dumb." Like I thought that that was between us two. And so I played it off though, and it was funny. I was like, "Look, like I literally was just talking to Stick and Victoria about this, and I had mentioned to him before, and so it just was believable." He was like, "That's so funny." He's like, "Yeah, I'm not cut out for this game either. Like I feel like I'm gonna mess up." And I'm like, "Okay."
yeah.
Um, yeah. So, but
No,
I just feel really good with Adam. Again, if he ends up being the person, it's whatever. But if if he says anything about you guys, I'll definitely tell you as soon as I can.
For
if
sure.
I had to choose who's the strongest player between Adam and Patrice, I would say Patrice, to
Yeah.
be honest.
And I think Adam can be he I hate to say this word, but he can be manipulated. Like
Yeah.
Adam was
Yes, he can.
he was
Yeah.
so supporting me yesterday.
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey man, like I understand, why you did it. That's why I voted with you."
Right?
We were just
I
shooting the
feel
shit.
bad
Yeah.
when you like, it's almost like you can't even lie to him because he's so
Yeah, it's
genuine.
hard.
So here's the
Yeah.
thing too. We have to take into consideration who voted for who, right? Because
Yeah.
that's what Jonathan's going to be paying attention.
Yes. Yes.
So
Well, Jonathan in a group last night too is 100% convinced he's getting murdered.
yeah, but he's not. We're not.
No, but
And
that's what he thinks is
that's what
happening.
he thinks. So
Yeah.
Jonathan is totally banking that the traitor is one of the Caleb voters, right? So that's me, Daniel, Brad, and Adam. Okay, Adam's basically off that table. So really, it comes down to me, Brad, and Daniel.
Yeah.
Now, if we murder Patrice, he's gonna think, okay, well, out of Brad, Matt, and Daniel, who actually knows Patrice? That's gonna be Brad. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So that sus is gonna grow more on him. I don't
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
I think at that point he's gonna ease off of me and he's
I
gonna
think so.
start working more with you, Daniel.
Yeah.
He already
And
trusts you. He already trusts you.
yeah. And again, a little part of me, I told this to Matt yesterday, Melissa, but Jonathan messaged me right away after the first night, and he basically was all in on me, saying he trusts me, blah, blah, blah. And I said, "Look, I'm going to tell you something, and I feel like I have to tell you." And I did the same thing with Tina and Stick about throwing like the returners out there. I'm like, I do have sus on you because um, I think I mentioned this yesterday. I'm sorry if I was driving, I forgot. But Melissa, did I tell you that he like slipped up about saying he was going to be murdered or not if he had the shield? So it was in the very first group where we had to go down to the final 5 people or whatever. People had to like leave. And we were in the group, and then
Yeah.
Jonathan was saying, like, oh, I'm just saying, you guys, I promise if you guys let me stay in and get the shield, I promise there's a next opportunity for a shield. I will back down. I will for sure back down. And after a couple minutes he was talking, he said, "Oh well, oh for next time, blah blah blah. Well, that's if I'm not murdered, you know. Well, I have the shield, so I wouldn't be murdered." And everyone kind of like was like, "Okay," not like in like a. It was very brief, but like there was slight pause, and we kept talking. And then I told Matt and I told Chell actually, which he left, and I told Jonathan that. I didn't tell him by who, but I said, okay, I just want to throw it out there right away that before anyone else tells you, because I told a few people, I did have sus on you, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And we've been talking or whatever, and I feel like he trusts me, but there's a little tiny piece of me thinking maybe he is onto me, and he thinks that if I think that he trusts me fully, that I won't murder him. So that's
Yeah.
in my
Yeah.
head. But I do think he wants to work with me for a while at least.
Okay.
Nice.
So we
Yeah.
have we have 2 names. I was looking at everyone's name, and although I love Brandon, if we had a third option, I feel like doing him. I just feel like it would not give anyone information at all, just because he wasn't here for most of the night. What are your guys' thoughts?
I agree on that, as in basically that he's just started this new job, so he's not really available. I mean, like, if we're gonna go that route, in a way we're doing it for the game because we want the people that can play, right? But on the other hand, I don't want to miss an opportunity
Mhm.
to get rid of a strong player just because,
Yeah,
Britain can't
piggybacking
make
off.
one night or two, right?
Yeah, piggybacking off that point. Brandon's totally somebody that can take a banishment round. He could literally take up a round. I
I
could
think
see it.
so.
I could see it. We're there. He's not there for the
Yeah.
second time. You know what? We helped you the first time, but you know what? It's just we got to keep the game moving. It's nothing personal. We don't even have to waste
Exactly.
a murder. You know,
And I would rather keep him for that than murdering him.
he
Yeah.
takes the spot. He takes the spot, and that's another round where
Yeah.
none of us gets chosen.
Mhm. If we're
Yep.
talking about that right now, in case we don't get a chance before tomorrow, like or whatever, if it happens where he's not there tomorrow, if it is going that way, I don't think the three of us should vote for him, but like should we like do a little split like, oh well, even though one of us can be like, oh, even though Brandon wasn't here, I still feel like I should vote for so and so or whatever, even if the vote
Yeah.
goes that way, we can,
Yeah.
be on
Yeah.
different
I
sides.
would. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. Okay, so
So
we got 2 names. Do we have to have
Yeah.
the third, Bill? I
well,
said we have 2 names.
we kind of talked about 3 names.
Yeah.
We talked about
Yeah.
Jonathan, talked about Patrice, we
Mhm.
Yeah.
talked about Adam, and we talked about Brandon as well.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, viewers, who will be the next to go, and will it work out for the Traitors? And what surprises will I bring to the castle on day 3? You will have to wait until the next video to find out, viewers.